there is a husband in distress right now.
Ooh, child.
He's in distress because his wife is now sitting in an ICE detention center.
Mm.
A man from Wisconsin, and he
Mm-hmm.
happens to be a Trump supporter.
Mm.
Yes, 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 yes. This is according to USA Today, and the title is "This Wisconsin Man Voted for Trump. Now his wife sits in an ICE detention center."
Ooh, child. In Louisiana at that.
I know. His name is Bradley Bartell. Her name is Camelia, am I saying it right? Munoz. And they have a small town love story, Reese, living their life, pop dipping and spinning. They were on their way home after pop dipping and spinning from their honeymoon in Puerto Rico. An immigration agent pulled his wife to the side at the airport and said, "Are you an American citizen?" Hmm. She said no, she wasn't, but she's from Peru, and that her husband had taken legal steps to one day, according to the article, one day she might get U.S. citizenship. Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. Well, they detained her. And according to USA Today, she has been detained by ICE for weeks now.
Jeez.
And so, like you said, in an ICE detention center in Louisiana.
Mm.
Ain't that something? And the man said he's worried. He said, quote, "Emotionally, I'm concerned for her. It can't be easy being trapped in a room with 100 other people. They don't have anything in there. It's just so wasteful."
Mm.
He said they keep in touch via 20 cents a minute phone calls.
Ooh.
She worries about his son. I'm not clear if that's their kid together from a different relationship.
No, it's his
And she
it's his kid, not hers. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she worries whether he's eating well or misses her Peruvian cooking.
Oh, child. Mm.
According to the article, the money the couple saved for a down payment on a home has evaporated into
Yep.
attorney's fees and a
Mm.
savings to pay a bond for her release if she's given that chance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As far as voting for Trump in Wisconsin, swing state,
Yep.
he said, "I knew they were cracking down. I guess I didn't know how it was going down."
Mm.
According to the article, he imagined the administration would target people who snuck over the border and weren't vetted. He says, but his wife, they know who she is and where she came from. They need to get the vetting done and not keep these people locked up. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm.
That's the closing line of the article.
Oh, child.
See, this is what I've been saying. You don't care until it impacts you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not undocumented. I don't know anybody who's undocumented. I'm a black American born and raised in this country. I don't whatever. And I was still worried and concerned about people who are
Mm-hmm.
undocumented. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not selfish like that.
Yeah.
I'm not in a space where if it doesn't impact me, then I don't give a damn.
Mm.
Because I've said it before, I want everybody to be free.
Right.
I want everybody to be safe. I don't think anybody should be locked up in an ICE detention center. That's why I can't be a one issue voter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got
Mm-hmm.
to see
Mm-hmm.
beyond my lens. But look at you. You didn't think. And with these articles, with all due respect to the journalists, the one question I want to know, Reese, is would you vote differently?
Right. Right. Right.
From CNN. They spoke to a group of people of how they're concerned and frustrated about what's happening in Trumpism. Listen to this brief clip.
President Trump's second term, and now some of his swing state supporters are expressing some buyer's remorse. They're sounding off in a focus group co-conducted by Axios. It's a group that consisted of 13 voters from battleground Michigan who voted for Joe Biden in 2020, but then for Donald Trump last year.
Axios reported that most expressed frustration and worry using words like erratic, frightening, disruptive, and dictator to describe their concerns.
It's getting to the point where I'm almost scared to watch the news.
A lot of his actions have just been disruptive and creating chaos.
I don't think anyone would have voted for him if they expected to see what we're seeing now.
I was voting for him based off of the economy the first time around, and I'm seeing a significant decline.
It's very scary.
Only one voter in that focus group, though, said that she would pick Kamala Harris if she were to do it all over again.
Only one voter in that focus group said she would pick Kamala Harris if they were going to do it all over again.
Child, wait a minute. Wait a
Ain't
minute.
that America? Home of the free. Ain't that America? I'm quoting John Kruger Mellencamp. Reese Colbert, your thoughts?
Well, okay, let's go back to the Wisconsin ban real quick. You know, first of all, the biggest source of illegal immigration is people overstaying their visas, which is what his wife, fiance, whatever they are, did.
Not
She overstayed her visa.
border, overstayed visas. Yeah.
So you sitting up there talking about people climbing fences and shit, crossing the border illegally, running for their lives like they ain't shit. When your wife is part of the biggest illegal group of people here. And this is what didn't register for people when he talked about illegal, that they are the illegal people too. They're not just talking about the criminals, the so-called criminals. They look at you as criminals because they don't believe you should be here. So that was stupid. But the thing about it, okay, fine. He's a dumbass. He seems to still believe that those people deserve to be deported and detained and whatever, just not his wife. But the thing that was so stupid about all this was I saw in the article, you didn't mention this part, it costs $283 a day per person for this detention center. Now, I recall people being up in arms about migrant shelters and how much money we spending on migrant shelters. So migrant shelters aren't okay, so that people ain't freezing their asses off on the street, so that people ain't bopping you upside your head to get rent money. But private for-profit detention centers are okay. And what this has done is this has taken people who have jobs, who pay taxes. So these are people who are economic contributors to our society. You've taken them away from being economic contributors, and you put them in a system where now they're a drain on the system because we're paying $282 to detain them. So this is a net loss, a drastic net loss in terms of, if we're doing this to make our society better, that's ass backwards. I don't think that these people deserve to be in there on the merits of their humanity, on the merits of the fact that immigration ain't this big problem. They didn't have this propaganda and disinformation out to make it be. But if we're talking about we're spending too much money on people that came here, we spending too much money on foreign aid, but then you sit back while they cut $1 billion from USDA for SNAP benefits, food stamps, for free lunches for kids, when you have Republican governors, when Biden was in office, that refused to extend free lunches during the summer for kids, when we're paying hundreds of dollars to incarcerate, detain people that were otherwise economic contributors to our society. That's not moving us towards making investments in our people, in American citizens, especially when they're laying off federal workers, when they are cutting funding, billions of dollars in funding for research. They're cutting funding that has gone to farmers, that has created economic activity within our economy. NIH is a place where $1 we spend for NIH funding creates $2.62 of economic activity. So that's a profit that we're getting off of that. All of these things are happening where we are contracting our economy. The ATO Fed projected a contraction of the GDP by 1 point something percentage points. We're contracting our economy, we're contracting our federal services while spending money detaining people that we don't need to spend. Oh, and by the way, the people that we're deporting to Venezuela with no due process, who may or may not be gang members, to El Salvador, we're paying millions. I'm going to have to look up the number when I stop talking, to El Salvador to detain those people. This shit ain't free. So we should have an honest discussion about where we want to make our investment. And do we want to make our investment in detaining economic drivers or economic net people who have a positive net benefit to our society? Or do we want to just say, fuck it, they got to go regardless, and we'll spend whatever it costs to get them packed up out of here? I don't think that we should be doing the latter. I think we should be more strategic if we really want to talk about what we need to do with this country.
What do they say? Fuck around and find out. Isn't that what they be saying? Ain't it something? It's just stunning to me that your Peruvian wife, you had an option to vote for someone else. I mean, the war on him. I mean, he was explicit about what he said he was going to do.
Oh yeah,
he's explicit about it. He's clear about it. He's bold about it. He's proud of it. And now you're saving.
And I didn't see an article.
This is one of those scenarios. Go ahead.
I didn't see an article where she said, "Hey, babe, maybe don't vote for Trump because he gonna pack my ass up out of here." She seemed like she believed, well, yeah, he ain't coming for me. Well, bitch, you thought wrong, because now your ass is in the detention center with the rest of the illegals.
How's this story gonna end? And I like to remind people, you're right about that. The majority of people who are here, quote unquote, undocumented, they're here because they flew over here via an overstayed visa. That's the majority of folks who are here. But hey,
but he getting them too. The Indian, the Chinese, he packing up everybody. I will say, I'm for it. I'm not supporting it, but I will say, he packing people up of every race, background. He trying to pack up these Ukrainians. He's like, okay, Venezuelan, Cuban, everybody got to go. Indian got to go. Chinese got to go. German got to go. Like, he is like, everybody got to go. I'm not saying that with any admiration. I'm saying that because I'm actually surprised. And I'm sure those people are surprised too. I'm sure that there ain't an Indian immigrant in the world who thought that they was going to be shackled on a plane back to India because Donald Trump ass won the damn White House.
Thoughts and prayers, brother. She said, I hope he's missing my Peruvian cooking.
Well, he can. What did the Bordazar say? He can go with you to Peru.
Is that what did he say that?
I mean, he said that mixed status families, they can deport along.
You can go with them back to the. Oh my God, that's so cruel.
He said,
I don't mean to laugh, but damn, that's mean.
He said.